What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of One for Safety, the podcast where four up-and-coming filmmakers talk about entertainment, food, booze, and a bunch of other things. My name is Moses, and I'll be your host for this episode. And as always, I'm joined with Phillip Royal Long.
Hey.
Leatrice Ching.
Hey.
And Alexander L. Dunn.
Hello.
All right, well, on today's episode, talk about...
Are you drinking fucking water?
Oh, my God.
Phillip.
You're getting too into it.
Gave away your hand.
Not even time.
Wow.
I'm thirsty.
Go off camera.
Phillip started it. Let's go. What are you guys having? What's up? Phillip, you go first.
Okay. So I'm having single press mountain spring water that I got while on my backpacking trip.
Single.
Wow. So you're drinking actual mountain spring water.
Yeah, mountain water from the South Yuba River.
That looks like an IV
I went
bag.
backpacking.
It looks like an IV bag.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like you stole it from a hospital.
You're not really drinking water, are you?
No, yeah, I'm for real drinking the water. That's what I put in the glass.
It's vodka. Tell me it's vodka.
How
a
is it
lot of
single
vodka.
pressed? How did you single press that?
No, it's like probably 50 or 60
Yeah,
press.
like, well, one press filter.
No, yeah, I use the water pump. You
Take
Dump
it
it in my
out
water.
of context. That looked weird.
That's the action and, sound that it makes.
Yes.
See, it's just
hope.
great. You like roll it around in your mouth and it has that like crisp mineral taste to it.
You go water tasting?
Yep. I would go water tasting.
I bet you there's a market for people water tasting.
I told you there is one.
See, I don't like high profile water. Like when I see like Fiji water and like all those Evian waters that are like $5 or $6 a bottle, miss me.
Well, we
Miss
talked about
me
this
with
already.
that.
No, we did talk
We
about
talked about
this.
it, didn't what's his name?
Zac Efron.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did a whole episode.
water tasting.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
we talked
super
about
high
this.
profile because he called himself a
Oh.
sommelier.
Of water, yeah.
Did you know that Evian spelled backwards is naive?
Wow.
That's intentional.
Race car spelled backwards is race car.
Do you know tenant spelled backwards is tenant?
God. Did you know baby carrots are cut from bigger carrots? I did not know that.
Wow.
Are they really?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
That's the most surprising one of all of these.
Where
so
the
far.
fuck is this episode going?
A baby carrot walks up to its mom carrot is like, Mom, where do baby carrots come from? And they're like,
She shows her the hole in her body.
well, when a carrot is a full size, it's shredded by a giant knife and turned into smaller carrots.
Wow, that's
What kind of like instrument do they use for that? Because they're so perfectly rounded.
A baby carroter, obviously.
Is that
Wow.
what it's called? It's not. It's
I have
called.
no idea.
I have no
I
idea.
want to see what this instrument looks like.
I just
They
found
give
this
it to a rabbit that's just continuously disappointed. They're like, here, chew on this, and it chews on it and like gnaws it down. They're like, okay, give me that.
Dude, these rabbits need to unionize. You know, like do they get
We
good
want to
benefits?
finish.
They need a Hoffa. They need a Jimmy Hoffa in their corner.
Yeah. They, need
They have like a little Bernie bunny, and he's just like, we want to finish every 25th carrot.
Wow.
It's not gonna get funnier than this. That's it. We should end the episode here.
All right, goodbye, everyone.
Man, I really wish I was drinking carrot juice today.
Are you drinking carrot
no,
juice today?
I'm not.
Oh,
Last
thank
week.
God. You should have been drinking it today.
No, I just mentioned
Wow.
it. Now
Yeah,
I
that
wish
was
I was.
perfect opportunity.
So what are you drinking?
I am drinking. Well, I tried Alex's mint chocolate chip beer that he had recommended. I was not that big of a fan. The consistency was a little
fine.
too thick for me.
Well, do you usually like stouts?
Yeah, I do.
I didn't ask that question.
I
Okay.
usually like stouts, but today, well, it's from the same brewer, so Bottle Logic Brewing. This one, I also probably won't like this one because it's an IPA, but here we go. Just gonna.
Oh yeah, first try.
Oh yeah, live.
Yeah.
Why'd you
This is
pick it then? If you don't like IPAs,
I like the bottle,
just
the
to try.
can.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Can is very well designed.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, the first taste is in.
That's bad.
Just
The bad reaction.
just don't get why people like IPAs. All right.
Wow, really?
This is actually not the worst IPA I've had. When they're super hoppy, I can't drink it, but this is okay. It's okay.
I like them when they're super hoppy.
We're fundamentally different people.
Pouncing away
You know what else is super hoppy?
like a baby carrot rabbit.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Wow.
Um,
All right, Alex, what are you having?
oh, me.
Yeah.
I'm drinking whiskey this time.
Ooh,
'Cause I haven't done that. I think. Well, no, that's not true. We did it with one of the first episodes. It's called Umiki. I brought the bottle with me. I'll do the bottle. I'll do the thing. That's what it looks like.
Oh wow, what a
So
Whoa,
yeah.
that's a cool
Yeah.
bottle.
so colorful.
It's Japanese and it's apparently not brewed. It's distilled or finished. Fused. I'm trying to think of the word fused with ocean water. First ocean fused whiskey finished in pine barrels.
That sounds like they poured ocean water into whiskey.
I know.
Wait, did you already have it?
That's not how fusion works.
Yeah, you got to do a dance first and then touch fingertips.
That's a
Oh,
heterogeneous mixture, isn't it?
You have to go fusion.
Fusion! Ha!
I'm trying to think which parts would be left over. Like what's the dominant genes in the Leatrice Moses, fusion.
My
Does she get the
beard,
beard? Like you get the
her
beard,
hair.
the long hair, glasses.
Wait, why would the glasses
You know.
come with it?
I don't know.
Well, we both wear glasses, so
That's true.
that would probably really
So
carry
double
over.
the glasses. You
Yeah.
have really thick glasses. What are you gonna say, Phillip?
Oh, I was gonna say about glasses. One of my friends works as a lens grinder, and every once in a while he'll just send us Snapchats of the lens, like the thickness. And he sent us one that must have been 3/4 of an inch thick or something.
Wow.
Oh my god.
It's just the thickest lens I've ever seen in my
Was
life.
it going in a pair of glasses or in a magnifying glass?
I don't know. I hope not in a pair of glasses, but probably because he's
I don't want to
works
insult
at an
anyone.
optometry
who has-
clinic.
He works at Lens Crafters, so yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't insult people. My little brother's glasses tend to be
neither.
that thick too, actually.
I always thought wearing glasses was kind of cool, but I know it's not. I know
It's not
people
cool.
I know,
I think it's pretty cool.
but I feel like I'm out of the loop there.
I hate it. I hate waking up every morning and not being able to see anything.
That's fair.
That's why you put on the glasses.
I dig it.
I
You're
know.
all right.
That's true.
Anyways,
Well, enough about sight.
Yeah.
Tell me about taste, Moses. What you tasted?
So, remember I had the bacon and eggs coffee style the other day? I went to Total Wine again today. It was kind of funny. I was actually going to text you, Alex, and be like, hey, are you going to be there?
I almost did, but then I was like, I'll just drink.
This is
whiskey.
like 4 times already where we almost see each other at the same place at the same time.
yeah, that's true.
Anyways, so I got an IPA by the same brewery, Pizza Port, and it's kind of another beachy vibe looking can, and it's the Taste for Adventure IPA. It's pretty good. I like it.
Nice.
I like it. Yeah.
Hoppy, pretty hoppy.
It's not super hoppy, so I think Leatrice might like it.
wait, Alex, you never told us how was your whiskey.
Oh, it's good. No, it's not the first. I've had
Oh.
it before.
What's it taste like?
Yeah, I bought it.
Oceany?
No, it's pretty it's got a little bit of smoke flavor because of the barrels, whatever.
Cigarette
infused
butts
thing.
inside.
Yeah. I smoke and then toss them in there and then drink those.
Oh man,
Yeah,
you
it's
gotta
pretty
quit
tasty.
those habits, young man.
It's like when they have the worm in the tequila,
Yeah.
but
Dude, I've
just-
done that before.
just cigarette butts.
You've done that before, as in
You
you
dr-
put worms in your tequila, or you've had it before?
Or you drank the
Well, it
worm.
wasn't tequila. Yeah, no, I didn't drink that. There's I forget what it's actually the drink was, but it was in the Philippines, and it was they're like wood worms, and they put them in this drink that's like calamansi flavored. Daryl, I'm looking at Daryl in the camera, right? Am I correct? Am I correct in this assumption, Daryl? There's a head nod. That's correct. Yeah, it's really good actually. They taste like oysters, like raw oysters.
Oh, yum.
But so it's kind of like eating like worms that taste like oysters.
Sounds
I'd
cheaper.
dig
Yeah.
it.
How much was your drink, Leatrice? Since the last one of those Bottle Logics was $14. How much
Oh,
is
this one I actually don't know. All I looked out for was because you kept saying how stupid expensive the other one was. I looked at that one and that was $13.50. I
Yeah.
was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one probably
Oh, okay.
probably in the range of like $7.50 or something like that. Actually,
Still
don't
pretty
quote me on
pricey.
that. Don't know.
Well, you're probably right. Biologic's really expensive.
Let's move it on to our next topic: weekly obsessions. Who's got them? Huh?
Leatrice has got him.
Leatrice, go for it.
I haven't. Okay, I've been obsessing over meditation, not the act of doing it, but just the idea behind it. Cause I don't know how to do it. I just don't understand it. Like I think it's because I always assume that when you're meditating, and this has happened because let's say, anytime something really bad happens or you're going through a lot and your mind is kind of running crazy, you're supposed to meditate to ground yourself. And in the last couple months, I've just been hearing a lot of people talk about meditation and other people recommending it. So I was like, I don't know if it'll do anything, but let me try it. And I don't know how to clear my mind and just focus on your breath. Every single person keeps saying that, and I'm like, what does that even mean? So I've been like,
Have you ever tried guided meditation?
that's what I've been trying, and then I always fall asleep. So it works. My mind is clear, but then I fall asleep while doing it. So
Are you doing Headspace?
no, it's another one a friend sent. But Headspace was the one that was recommended to me, but this one's called Insight Timer. And let me show you the dude that apparently I'm supposed to do this for 8 weeks, 56 days to notice a big difference.
Damn.
But let me show you what this bro looks like.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice. Does he talk to you?
Yes.
Does he have an accent?
No. David G.
David G.
David G. Yeah.
The homie David G.
So I've been trying.
I mean, try Headspace if you don't like that one.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I don't know how to do it. Like, even though I'm listening to these other people try to guide me through it, I'm just like, don't you just automatically start thinking about other things? I mean,
Well, that's the point. Yeah.
I mean, they talk about what to do when you think of other things.
Well, no, because they don't know that I go into that thinking space, right? The guided meditation will be focus on your breath. And like, okay, I'm focusing, and then let's take a couple more deep breaths. And in between those deep breaths, I start thinking about work.
The one that I've been trying is called the Waking Up app. And it's by this guy who's like a neuroscientist and a meditation like dude who studied it for a while, I guess. But like during their guided meditations, he constantly talks about like, and the moment a breath or like a thought comes in, like recognize the thought and like try and find where it's coming from, and then let it go and come back to the breath. And so you kind of get into this practice of you don't get mad at yourself for having thoughts, and like you just recognize that you can't control when they happen, and then you let them happen, and then you move past them.
So does it work?
Yeah, that's
for
what I
you?
say.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do it as much as you're supposed to be doing it. I don't do it daily or anything, but I do it, now and again.
I feel like we owe you money now.
I'll send you my invoice.
Honestly, the two things that I've learned. Okay, so the Headspace, reason why I'm recommending it, because I know that I'm the same way. Like, and the way they describe it is like your thoughts are like cars, like it's like traffic. Like you should just let it happen. Like, don't try and stop a thought. Like, just let the traffic happen. Because if you try to stop a thought and focus on the thought, that's when you're gonna sit there and dwell too much and like get upset, where you just like let all the thoughts just come and go.
Wait, do all of you meditate? I thought I was gonna get a lot of like flack for this.
I did Headspace. No, I did Headspace for a while.
Oh.
Meditations for losers.
No,
I have a
because-
hard time like sitting still and like trying to clear my mind.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Because I said it to Yana, and Yana was just like, I feel like that's a tremendous waste of time. And then he was just joking about it with me for the longest. I think he was making fun for making fun's sake, not actually.
You know what really clears my mind?
Don't say
What's
drugs or anything.
Metal music?
No. Listening to metal.
Oh yes,
I just said that.
I said that.
But yeah. It just for some reason
But that's
it just
different because
it just drowns out everything.
yeah, but that's
So it's meditative.
That's mindlessness.
yeah, because then
Yeah.
the whole idea behind meditation is mindfulness, right? You're actually being very aware and being able to focus, and this ability to focus is going to help you become more forgiving, more I guess at peace with all the things you can't control, that kind of thing. But
Well, I'd say like the other thought I had is like any other practice or like, I don't know, like the way you think about, I don't know, like working out, it's kind of the same idea. It's kind of like you're working at your brain.
Yeah.
So it's like if you can't go to the gym once and then just be like, oh, I'm going to be buff in one time or two times or even a week. It's like you have to go for like months and months and constantly do it, or else it's like you're never going to get better at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's why like the first week is going to be so tough. Like you have to get past those first like 10 days. And then after that, it's like, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier because then you just kind of like, know, this is how it's done, you know?
Well, yeah, I'm down for that. I'm okay with giving it like a long-term go at it. It's just I'm wondering,
You'll see.
like, am I doing it right? I'm listening.
Yeah, you probably are. There's no right answer.
Yeah. I think something that I always think about when it comes to stuff, anything like this, is like we used to talk about in physics, there's a fundamental difference between 0 and 1, but there's not a fundamental difference between 1 and any other number.
Huh.
And like I think about that a lot when it comes to trying new things and like trying to learn new skills, because like the difference between getting 1 to like 1,000,000 is just you multiply it by 1,000,000, but there's nothing you can multiply 0 by to get anything else other than 0. And so just having started to do something is already like that much closer. You're like fundamentally closer to being at that point. And now like the hard part is over and now it's just sticking to it.
Weird.
That's good.
Philosophical episode. Wow, look at what that water's done to Phillip.
I know.
Invoice us again. I
It's
felt like that was
clear.
the second session. Just go ahead, invoice us.
I'll just send it right over.
All right. Next.
Don't worry, I promise you I don't have it together either.
Blind leading the blind.
Phillip, actually, let's go with you. What's your obsession this week?
My weekly obsession, if I could do it again, would be painting Gundams, because I'm still doing that and it's still very satisfying. But my other thing that I've been really getting into this week has been Jujitsu Kaizen, courtesy of Alex. I haven't watched any anime in a long time, and it's a fun one. It's just a good time. Characters are interesting, world's interesting.
Did you see that Netflix has an X-Men anime out now?
Anime? For X-Men?
Yeah. Yeah, I started watching it yesterday. I've only seen like 2 episodes, so it's pretty good so far. I mean, only 2 episodes.
Again,
in,
when
but-
you say anime, I kind of my brain initially goes to like anime style. Is this like anime or animated like
No, it's anime
Castlevania?
style.
Anime stuff.
It's
Anime style?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Whoa.
X-Men
Yeah.
anime?
They
have the rights
even
to do
go
that?
to Japan. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, so they go to Japan. Wait, do they enter anime style when they go to Japan, or they're just in Japan?
No,
It's like
no.
Spider-Man, like Spider-Verse. Like,
Wait, this has been around since 2011.
Has
Whoa.
it? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess it just popped up in my feed the other day, and I was like, hey, I'll check this out.
Huh. Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Neat.
if we check that out, you should check out Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. I really like that it's only 14 episodes currently, or 15.
Yeah, because right now it's 14.
14? Yeah.
This
I'm
week will
almost
be-
done. I'm on like episode 11.
Well, it's back on its second part of the first season. So now it's gonna be weekly.
Oh, it's starting up again?
Yeah, it just started last week.
Sick. It's very palatable.
It's so fun.
Very,
So good.
very palatable.
It's just like a shonen that's like, it just takes all the best parts of all their shonens. I feel like, you know, it's so good.
I will say, like, I don't think the action is as good as stuff that I've seen, but also, like, that's from taking it from, like, you know, watching the end of Naruto, where it's been running for, like, 12 years, and they're putting, like, all of their money into this big fight scene, and you're like, well, it's not as good as that. And it's like, well, nothing should be, because
Yeah.
that fight's incredible.
Yeah, the closest, I think, like, the best fight scenes of, like, any other anime I can think of right now is, like, Demon Slayer or something. That's, like, currently out.
Demon Slayer has amazing animation.
Yeah.
Is that Studio Trigger? No.
I forget the studio.
No. Studio Trigger does Kill la Kill.
Or Mob Psycho has really good fight scenes too.
Well, on that note, Alex, what's your obsession?
Yeah, I think it's gonna probably be Twitch. More specifically, like the like streaming on Twitch, because now that I'm about to probably start, I didn't realize like how it's like you see people do it, but like actually going on there and trying to do it and like going on Streamlabs and like kind of figuring it all out. It's like such an interesting process because it's like very unique to your individual style, and like the Streamlabs as like a program is actually really in depth and like interesting, and like you can like do a lot to customize your specific stream. And like going into it, like I had no idea like how in depth that thing could be. And like the biggest example I could think of is, so I mean like there's all the visuals things you could do, like you could put the wherever you want your camera to be and where you want everything to be, that's all customized, and then you can put like specific little widget things. But there was something that was last night that came up is because I've been doing these tests to make sure like everything's good, because I'm like planning on doing my first official stream on like Saturday. And even though but I did like a 2-hour long one the other day, so like I still did it technically. But something I didn't realize in that one, and it was because I've been like having Daryl watch it and just like, all right, tell me like what's wrong. And something she brought up was like, oh, there's like a lot of like fan noise from your laptop, and I didn't realize it until I went back and listened to it again, and I was like, wait, there's like, you can hear my laptop like pretty bad. It sounds like a boat. It's crazy.
I didn't hear that.
And I didn't know.
No, there was.
Yeah, but if you go back,
I was like at one point, and that's why I said, oh, your audio got better, and it was when you had like lifted your laptop or something like that.
Yeah, I mean maybe that's what I did, but when I did 2 other tests, and she told me like, oh, it's happening, and I thought, okay, maybe it's my mic placement, so I kind of put it somewhere else. I tried again, and she's like, no, I can still hear it. And I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? I was like kind of like sad, because I was like, I don't think I can get rid of this. And then I like just Googled it, just like getting rid of fan noise on Streamlabs. And someone was like, yeah, there's like a bunch of different filters you can put on your mics to like make sure that you can specifically get rid of that kind of thing. And I was like, what, there's filters on here? And I like went on and like looked, and it was like noise suppression and do this particular thing. And I was like, I did exactly what he told me to do. And it's like gone. And so I did one more test like late last night, and it's just like perfect now.
All right.
Would you do? That's funny.
Nice.
Yeah, like my like random Yakuza 6 like 10-minute stream. Like I did like a quick Legends run, Phillip, on like the first story of like
Without me.
But it was like the bronze. I just did bronze and just did it by myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just really impressive how in depth it is. It's like really fun to think like I see the allure of it now.
Oh
interesting.
my God.
What?
I totally blew it on my weekly obsession.
You can go back. Do you want to go back?
No, you're good. Keep going.
What the heck?
And I kind of want to know.
Yeah, what would
Well, I
you
realized
upset?
like I totally forgot about like what should have been my weekly
It
obsession.
was Legends.
Well, quickly, just say it real quick.
Is Battlefront 2. It was free on Epic Games, so all my friends have it. That game's a fucking blast. It's so fun. We have like 8 people. We'll like get like 8 people, and we'll just be all of us on one team and just demolish the other team. It's so fun. It's a good time. Like 2 years in, they've done enough updates that it's actually playable, and like it's great.
Still gotta try it. I still haven't tried it before, but you made it sound pretty fun. I do like Star Wars, so
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
It does what it does well. It doesn't do other things, but it does what it does well.
That's good. I would hope it does what it does well.
Being a video game and all.
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
So
Twitch. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So Moses, what about you?
Oh man, this was definitely an obsession for me this week, and I'm kind of ashamed to say it, but you know what? Maybe it's a guilty pleasure. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna say I've been on TikTok.
oh,
And
I was gonna be Euphoria. I'm like, what?
Welcome.
no, I've only seen two episodes of Euphoria, but yeah, TikTok. That shit is so addicting.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's like it's so weird because not everything you see is even like good, but it's so like addicting in the fact that you just keep scrolling and scrolling to actually land on something that makes you really laugh.
Yeah.
And I think that's the dangerous addiction that I have with it, because like I'll see things and I'm just like, obviously that's fake, staged, but the thing is I keep scrolling until I find one that I find like that's genuine.
Yeah.
And then I'll laugh at it, and then I'm like, haha, that's what I wanted. And then like the whole process starts over again. I'll just keep going fake, stupid challenge, fake, until I find another one that makes me chuckle. And then, yeah, it's literally fucking consumed me. And even Farrah's like, get the fuck off TikTok. You've been on it for like an hour already.
Oh my god.
So, does this mean that I can start sending you TikToks now?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's funny. 'cause-
Wait, you have a TikTok, Phillip?
No, I don't make TikToks. God, no. What? Ugh.
Wow, that was super judgmental for someone who probably spends hours on it.
Yeah, I don't like. I have a profile, but like, I don't post anything. I don't follow anyone. I literally just scroll the
The For You
feed.
page.
Yeah.
It's basically like Vine on crack, for
Yeah.
sure. I think I made this analogy before, but it like definitely is. Like the design of it is it's just like it's meant for you to keep going. Like you can't stop.
I
Yeah.
hate the user interface of TikTok. It's so horrible.
But it's designed in a way that works for it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the idea that it's just a video and you like, oh, just keep scrolling until you find something is so like
Yeah,
it's kinda
Like from the
genius.
moment you turn it on, it's not like Instagram where it like loads up and then you like, are slowly like given things to look at, or Reddit where you have to like dig through and crawl through to find things. It's like you turn on TikTok and it's like, bah, video.
I know, dude.
Smacks you right in the fucking face.
Yeah.
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 I had to delete mine because I would spend too long on it. And then now I have a friend who kind of like
Yeah.
curates content for me and another friend in our group chat. And he'll just send us very specific ones. And it's been great when I don't have to actually.
Oh, God.
The worst part is that if I don't just watch his, like I decide to scroll. And then the second I decide to scroll, I've lost at least 30 to 45 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like the
Yeah, exactly.
There's like this video by these guys. It's about Reddit, but it's kind of the same type of video. Have you ever heard of Viva La Dirt League? No. Maybe Phillip has. No. Anyway, they have one about Reddit. It's like the same thing, where it's like the joke is like, you think, oh, I can go on here and like be on it for a few minutes, but then like the whole joke of the video is like, this guy tells him like, if you go on it, be warned, you're gonna get addicted. And he's like, nah. And then he like starts to go on it, and he like looks up and it's nighttime. He's like, wait, what? And then he goes back on it and it's daytime, and it just like keeps happening. It's like that, but it's TikTok. You
Dude,
know?
Yeah, it's fucking
Reddit?
dangerous.
Is like my stress relief.
Mm.
Like, sometimes where you're like really stressed out and you just need to like do something, like you start twitching.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is like, I'll just like automatically just like, muscle memory, like turn it on. I'm like suddenly like scrolling through Reddit to like look at things.
Yeah. Ah, it's so funny.
It's not good.
Maybe try
Yeah.
Very
meditating.
not good.
I think I'm gonna need an intervention.
There you
soon.
go. That's actually the healthy option.
Yeah.
Not TikTok, not Reddit. You know. Wait, when you say
Oh, it's
twitching,
bad.
do you mean twitching like physically twitching, or do you mean like twitching?
I mean, not like twitching, but like like, I don't
You're
know.
just
When I get
restless,
stressed,
right?
I start like, people have like a fidgeting.
No.
That's
I got
that's
I
the
got
word
you,
I'm
man.
looking for.
I didn't know.
No,
if
I
you
don't
meant-
like start like twitching. I'm not like,
No. I thought you meant like you went on.
We should get you a fidget spinner.
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought you meant like you went on to Twitch and that's what you were doing, and I was like, what? Like,
Oh no.
you start twitching and then you're like, I gotta get into Reddit. Like I can't
No,
be
I was
here.
doing so good for a long time. I uninstalled Reddit and I was like, I don't need it. And then like, I don't remember why, but like a couple weeks ago, I just decided to reinstall it because I was like, I can handle myself. And now I'm just like, I wake up and suddenly like Reddit is in front of my face again. And I'm like, no, why am I here? I've already seen everything.
I will send you this video then for sure, because yeah, because it definitely describes you, Phillip. The video I saw.
Oh man,
Well, Moses, it sounds like you're gonna have to do it.
I know.
It's ruining your life.
No, I'm not gonna do any videos. I just happen to like look at it, and funny enough, I watch all the like political ones, and I think they're hilarious, but a lot of them are just like bullshit, and goes back to my point of like I'm just constantly scrolling to find like one genuine thing that just makes me laugh, and like you said, I'll look up and it's fucking dark already.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like drug addiction. I just
know.
imagine like this whole story playing out of like
These platforms, they are addictive.
yeah,
Hell yeah,
But
they
it's
are.
like Moses like having this like great life, and then him going down to rock bottom because he's on TikTok too much, and he's in an alley somewhere like just TikToking.
I'm like, hey man, you got TikTok? Let me see it real quick. Yeah, I'll give you 5 minutes. I swear to God, I'll give it right back. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
And then he goes to rehab for TikTok, and then he goes to the whole thing,
What
and
does
then
a
he
rehab
eventually
for
gets out.
TikTok look like?
I don't know yet. It's kind of like drug addiction, but it's for TikTok.
It
and they,
means
like,
you
try to
do
put-
dances, but no one's recording them.
Yeah. And then he gets out of TikTok rehabilitation, and then someone's like, "Hey, do you want to see this TikTok?" And he's like, "No, I don't."
I can't.
And then he just walks down the street, like in this beautiful
Wow, what a
Saturday
BoJack
morning.
moment for you.
Yeah.
Oh, BoJack.
BoJack
joke,
Navarro.
I know.
Navarro, man.
I know. Well, on that note, let's transition into our new segment, Shout Out of the Week. Leatrice, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so we're shouting out another podcaster, actually two podcasters. One of them, she is a film mentor of mine from my Irvine days, and her name is Roxy, and her co-host is Priscilla Liang. She goes by Priska. She's a musical artist. So the name of their...
Oh.
Yeah, so I think you do know her, right, Phillip?
Yeah, I know Roxy.
Yeah, you know Roxy, but do you know Priscilla Liang?
Yeah.
No, right?
I might. Not sure.
But anyways, so they have this podcast that they also started during lockdown, and the name is Two Horny Goats. I don't want to butcher what it's about, but everyone, hold on, you've seen the logo, right, Alex?
Yeah, it's like a mermaid, but like they're goats.
What mermaid?
Like goat
A
mermaid.
mergoat.
Are they mergoats?
Mergoat.
no,
Rio?
no,
Am I-
it's
I'm
way
imagining
more
goats?
clever than that. Come on. So
I mean, I looked at it for just a second,
So
and I was like,
look-
"Is this a mergoat?"
it's two.
Oh no, I'm talking about their
Oh.
website.
Oh.
We're looking at different things. Hold on
Yeah.
one second. I was literally about to type mergoat
Two
into Google.
eggplant gulp.
Yes. Two egg.
Two
Gulp.
horny goats.
Two horny goats.
I'm hoping this doesn't show up some weird shit. On
And
my...
where does the name goat come from?
You know, when you're a goat, right? You're greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time.
So they're saying that they're the two horny greatest of all
They're
time.
the two horniest.
Maybe.
Okay,
greats
this
of
is what
all
I
time.
meant. So
Or
I'm
they were
not
born the year
wrong.
of the goat. I'm not sure.
Can you see this?
Oh yeah,
Mergoat.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
Huh.
okay. So yes,
that's their.
yeah, and they're I guess I'll read the little description here. But each week, these two ball-busting Taiwanese American Capricorns will tackle all aspects of life. Oh, maybe that's why Capricorns, and that's what. Yeah, I don't think they're that. They're not.
I was like, I was about to say, like, that's a little conceited.
Well, but Roxy is amazing. I haven't met Priscilla.
Oh, she is amazing, no
yeah.
doubt. But like, the only other person I know who actually referred to themselves as the goat was Dan Bilzerian.
Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. They wouldn't refer to themselves as that, but yeah, Capricorns then. Yeah, so
That
from
fucking guy.
human sexuality to food and culture to growing up with savage Asian parents, we're just two horny goats climbing the mountain of life, eating Asian American stereotypes for breakfast. Hashtag stay horny. Like,
Wow.
Nice.
I've listened to the
pretty clever.
yeah, a few of the episodes, and then in the beginning they were doing this thing where they would recommend something. Like we have our segments, and they have a really great one where they kind of shout out the one I was listening to was the very first one that made me really want to go to this place. They would shout out some unique restaurant that they hadn't been to, or one of their favorite places
cool.
within the area that
cool.
we could go to, or someone who's visiting LA
Yeah.
could go to. And it's one of my
Is it specifically like what is it 626 or is it like
no, all like kind of
um,
within the LA area or wherever they might be. So it could be wherever they're traveling, even. Probably, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
Nice.
that's our shout out.
Cool.
Well,
Go
all
check
right.
them out.
Two horny goats. Well, on that note, let's transition to our topic of the evening. Before I was rudely interrupted by Phillip drinking water, today we're talking about sitcoms and whether they're extinct or if they've been secretly thriving under our blind eyes. Well, obviously, back in the day, traditional sitcoms like Friends and How I Met Your Mother, and to new traditional sitcoms like Big Bang Theory and other untraditional sitcoms like The Office and stuff kind of dominated TV. But now in 2021, not so much. Have they gone away? Are they extinct? But so I guess that's the question we're going to explore today. But to start off, what are your guys' favorite sitcoms, either traditional or untraditional?
Friends is one of my favorites.
So I guess let me clarify by traditional and untraditional. So traditional is
Laugh track.
yes, laugh track and 3-camera setup, and untraditional is like The Office. So 1 camera, very I guess docu
Mockumentary kind of
docu-style,
thing.
mockumentary style. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
what I mean by those.
It doesn't have to be mockumentary though, right? Like, because
Yeah.
sitcoms kind of just fall into.
Like a comedy
Yeah,
series,
yeah.
right? Because I always thought
Yeah.
sitcoms had to have a laugh track until you told me that no, I mean, new age sitcoms could be a comedy series that just is different. So I love the fact that The Office can be considered a sitcom because it's one of my favorites. And Parks and Recreation and Veep, those are all. Wait, would Veep be considered a sitcom?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah. I honestly think sitcoms at this point are literally anything that's a comedy.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I
honestly,
think
everything falls into it.
Yeah. Well, because I think that it's such a broad definition of a genre, right? Like situational comedy just means that each episode, these people are in like vaguely the same situation.
Oh shit! I had
which
no
is,
idea
like,
that's what it stood for.
The Office is, you know, like the Office always takes place in the office. Cheers is always, you
At
know,
the bar.
people in a bar.
Yeah.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia is like always
At the bar.
sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But
Well, traditional ones then. I guess that to answer your question. Yeah, like either How I Met Your Mother, probably the IT Crowd.
I love the IT
good.
Crowd.
Yeah, because technically that's a traditional. IT Crowd
Yeah.
is really fucking funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I had to quick Google search it to be like, all right, and then probably that '70s show.
Yeah.
I grew up on that '70s show, so I think those three.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, as far as the traditional ones with the 3-camera live studio audience sort of vibes, like How I Met Your Mother, that 70s show are like the two big ones that really come to mind.
Yeah, those are like our generation's Friends.
Yeah. I really missed the boat on Friends. I wasn't old enough when it was coming out, and then I've tried to watch it since then, and I really just I could
That's funny.
I didn't connect to it.
Because my coworker who's just not recently, but 21, she loves Friends. Adrian, this is for you. Yeah, she absolutely adores that show. And like when we're at work on Saturdays sometimes and we get the liberty to actually put something in the background as we're doing work. We're allowed to do that. Yes. But yeah, when we
Dr. Lau.
So then we just put it on. It's just it's one of those shows. The thing about sitcoms is that the rewatch value can be so high for these.
Yes.
It just makes you feel good to watch them, and even though you've seen maybe the episode a million times, and then for her, even though she's 21, and I thought that she would have missed the boat on this. She would have just completely like, nah, it just doesn't vibe with me. She loves that show, and I was thinking, wow, what is it about Friends that someone who's 21 now would love it despite?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my friends actually do really like Friends. When we were in college and we would all be like having late night physics study sessions, a couple of my friends would always just like turn that on, and because they'd seen it like 5 or 6 times through, and I was like, I always just kind of
Isn't that kind of
was
crazy?
kind of lukewarm on it.
That's
Yeah,
a little wild.
no, yeah. I feel like the people that I know who like Friends love Friends.
Yeah.
You know.
I think
And-
the same boat as you though, about the lukewarm feeling. I'm kind of like, I just haven't seen enough maybe to really fully appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I enjoy watching it when it's on, but I don't seek it out.
Yeah, same.
But Alex, you have this thing against The Office, right? It's like
Well, really putting him on blast there.
No, it's fine. I'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
he
'Cause
always
again, I
wants
don't
to-
technically. I wasn't gonna bring it up in this episode, so this is be aware. This was you.
No, I did this
Not
on
me.
purpose because anytime
Oh,
you're
okay.
not being recorded, you would always throw
No,
some
I'll
shade.
say it
at
on
the
recording.
Office.
I
So
will
go ahead.
still throw shade in front of our audience, however large that may be. Yeah, I don't know. I think that
people.
I've said this to every person I know, but yeah, it's just I've never really thought it was that funny. Or maybe it's because I've explained that at work, at my last job, they would put it on so much that it kind of started to kill it for me, because I was like, I think it's the sitcom thing where, like what Phillip was just referencing, about this idea that people rewatch things so frequently. Like, I understand, I get it, they're supposed to make you feel good. But at some point, it's like, this is no longer funny. There's like this thing someone once told me, it's like a joke is funny once, joke is funny twice, and the third time it's not really funny anymore. Like, it starts to lose the humor. And I'm like, at some point, humor loses how funny it can be, because like a situation is no longer funny. And like, I think The Office does have its moments that have definitely made me laugh, but I think the idea that people just literally kept watching the same fucking episodes over and over and over again, I started to like inside hate The Office through this kind of like idea of like, stop fucking watching this thing. It's I get it, it's kind of funny, but like it's not like the fucking Bible of comedy shows that I think people kind of put it on a pedestal to be, in my opinion. So if that's more detailed answer of the reason why I say I don't like, I do it to you guys to make you guys crazy. I'll just go straight up like, fuck The Office. But like, I do that to make people go crazy because people freak the fuck out when I say that. Like, and I think you didn't really freak out on me, Leatrice, when I said it, but you definitely got angry at me. But like,
I wasn't angry. I was just like shocked. I thought you would have been the ones who would have really been like, wow, I love this.
Yeah, I have other friends like that too. Like one of my best friends, like he like loves The Office. Like it's like he's one of those kind of people who just like puts it on and watches it, like falls asleep to it, kind of like Moses was saying about the Scrubs and shit. Or it just
was
like
The Office for you, wasn't it?
No, it was American Dad, right? And like Futurama and those kind of shows.
For me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I used to put on American Dad and Futurama. I mean, it was The Office until Netflix took it off, and now it's Scrubs. And like, I literally just put it on, and you know, if I fall asleep to it, it's not like a big deal.
Yeah.
It's just something to kind of turn my mind off at the end of the day.
I think it's just this idea that I always like to try to watch something new, even at night. Like every night, if I'm going to put something on before I go to sleep, I'd rather fall asleep to something new than fall asleep to something old, because I'd like to be like, oh, I'm trying something new. I want to see something new.
I would hate to fall asleep on something new.
No, it sucks. But then I wake up and I go, whatever. I don't remember. I'll just put it back and start again. And like, you know, I do that a lot with anime.
Yeah, same. That's what I've been doing with Jujitsu Kaisen. Is like, I'll watch it and I'll get like until I'm tired enough, and then you know I'll get like halfway into an episode and just like pause it, turn off, go to sleep, get up, rewind it like 3 minutes, and like press play, and then you know you generally remember where you were at.
Yeah, that's what I do a lot actually. Unless it's one that I like don't want to get spoiled for me. Like if it's like Attack on Titan right now, like I would not do that with Attack on Titan because I like.
I'm behind.
We're in the final. Oh, dude. All right, but that's not. This isn't about this. This isn't about this. Anyway.
What were you gonna say, Moses?
You also don't like Big Bang Theory, right? Because that was that's like the biggest traditional sitcom that you know just ended. So what? So explain why don't you like Big Bang? Really, you don't think it's funny? I mean, I thought
I've laughed once at it, and I've watched episodes.
One time.
I laughed one time. There was like one situation. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny, and then like I haven't seen the entire series, but I'm not watching 15 seasons worth of Big Bang Theory to prove whether or not it's funny.
But that reaction was not a reaction of like, I don't find it funny. It was a reaction of like disgust. So what?
Because it's like, it's the same idea. Like it's weird that I see some of these shows that I don't understand why they get put on such a crazy pedestal. Like people like fucking love Big Bang Theory.
Yeah,
like I think it's this idea with sitcoms in general.
Yeah.
Like I think sitcoms get this special spot in people's hearts that if you try to tell people that they're okay or not that funny, people get really upset about it. It's like weird. It's like the only thing.
I think it's because you're.
I think it's because.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because they're like the comfort food of television.
Yeah.
Like these are the kind of things where it's like you either grew up watching it or you like watched it every day when you came home from work or from school, and you like it's just something that's just engaging enough that you can watch it, but it's not challenging enough for you to have to pay attention. And it's not these kind of things where it's like you can just turn the episode on and it's funny, and you come to like really some people like come to depend on these shows as like a piece of their life. And so you know it's like if you insult your dad's fried chicken or something, it's like, no, that's perfect and it's amazing and it's the best out, and they're like, it was okay, and you're like, you're a monster.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it. It is comfort food. It is I think if people looked at it that way, like if people were willing to accept that their show is just okay, and then instead of thinking it's like the funniest be all end all type of thing, which some people they're willing to die on that hill for sitcoms sometimes. I just don't understand it because I don't.
Well, I think it's
Which,
just
by the way,
'cause-
sorry, you know what sitcom we forgot to mention? I just thought about it, was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I feel like I would have
Fucking
definitely put that on
amazing,
there
though.
too. I don't know why I didn't think of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air until just now.
So good.
That would
You
get
know,
in the
I
traditional.
actually didn't like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in the day. Maybe I was just too young.
Oh no, Alex is having his
I don't-
moment now.
What?
Shoe is
Yeah,
on the
I
other
don't
foot.
know. I think I watched. Let's see.
How the tables have tabled.
I know.
I think when
major
Fresh Prince
tabling.
was out, I think I was more into Married with Children than Fresh Prince at the time.
But it's not one
Like,
or the other. There's such different shows.
No, I know. I'm not saying it was a bad show. I'm just saying like I just didn't really like find the. I guess it felt too safe for me as a teenager or young adult at the time, and I just wanted to see the raunchy rowdiness of Married with Children at the time. I guess.
This is the most Moses take of all time. I'm not surprised that you would find Married with Children more interesting.
It's not that it was interesting. It's pretty mindless, when you think about it. Like, it never really attacked any of the issues that Fresh Prince ever did.
Yeah.
But, it was just a show that I just, for lack of a better word, just really raunchy humor that was different at the time. And, as a young boy, that stuff really kind of resonanes with me, at least.
The raunchy side.
Yeah,
Sitcom.
with my raunchy side, I guess. But going back to not liking things, I think when you say you don't like The Big Bang Theory or The Office, I think you're just really people really just feel attacked because that's what they like. And like back in the day, these people would gather together to watch network TV. Now it's not the same anymore, and sitcoms have come and gone. I mean, but they're still here.
I mean, I think the format of what we consider a sitcom has just shifted.
Yeah.
Especially once like The Office and Modern Family came out and like exploded in popularity. That really just upended the format of what people thought that a sitcom had to be. Because I think that with the success of shows like I Love Lucy and then like those like early sitcoms from like the 60s and 70s, that really just gave a template and momentum to everything through Seinfeld to the Big Bang Theory and everything. But then shows like The Office and Modern Family came out where they didn't have a laugh track. They weren't 3 cameras. They
Right.
were like far more upended and docu-style, and it was so different from what people were used to on network television that everybody wanted to try and follow that. And I think that I'm not sure what the production cost. I'd be interested of like the cost of a single episode there versus like single camera comedies.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, if you put like The Office next to Friends, I mean, the cast of Friends were making like $1 million an episode
By the end of it.
But that was towards the end. Yeah, that was
By
the
the
end.
toward the end.
Yeah.
But I mean, you figure that so the cost is what, at least $6 million an episode,
Yeah.
for the show, as opposed to like The Office, when most of those people were like kind of, I don't want to say nobodies, but they weren't ever that popular.
Well, we
And so,
have
like,
no
the
idea what
cost of
they were
shooting something-
commanding by the end of the series.
No,
Yeah,
that's
Steve Carell could have had a lot. But
That's
Yeah.
very true. But I think, I mean, going back to The Office, do you think like that show essentially changed the way people, or changed the way they view shows as funny? Like, did they change humor?
I think I think that, and then I think people eventually got over the idea of a laugh track sitcom, because I don't think that especially modern audiences like to be told when to laugh. Like people would
Right.
rather be put into realistic situations, and that's why I think at least our generation has started to enjoy that more. Like we like this idea of realistic. I think that's why The Office took off so well, is because it's based in such a very real situation that anyone and most people can relate to, because all the characters are very real, the character situations are very real, and that's one thing I do appreciate. So this is me saying positive things about The Office. Like I do understand it's
Say something
alert.
positive about The Big Bang Theory, Alex.
No.
But you see, this is actually
I like that it's
funny.
based in Pasadena.
I was literally about to say it's based in Pasadena.
But
There
this
you
is the
go.
funny thing. I actually think that the reason I like sitcoms aren't because I think they're funny. I think I laugh at some of the situations, sure, but I think one of the reasons why people are so defensive of their favorite sitcoms is because they identify with it. The thing about a sitcom is that you, after enough seasons, if a sitcom is really popular, like the ones that we do know, How I Met Your Mother, Friends, The Office, Fresh Prince, even when I was younger, Boy Meets World, Family Matters, things like shows like that, where they were running for so long and kind of garnered all this type of success, and people knew the characters, maybe not so much the actors, but they knew the characters. It was because you actually kind of grew up with them. You saw them change, and then you would mirror yourself. That's why so many people play the games. Like, who are you in The Office? Who are you in Friends? Who are you in that 70s show? And I think it's part of like the comfort food thing. Let's say you're defending your dad's fried chicken. It's because you grew up eating it and you think it's the best. You protect your dad's cooking because it's your dad. So if you grow up kind of watching these shows, or you grow up with the characters as they change throughout, I think that's what made the sitcom so important to certain people. Not so much that it was funny, because I can guarantee you there are a lot of times in The Office where I didn't think it was funny. I think that the British Office was actually funnier, but I didn't love it nearly as much as the American one because I grew up with the American one, with the characters at least.
Yeah. I think I think England was doing a lot more of this style first.
Oh, yeah.
I think we definitely jacked their style of humor.
Like we do with
way
Americans.
before. I think the original Office shows like this, like Spaced, or like, I don't know. There's a bunch of them. Space is one that comes to mind, which is not Edgar Wright. Oh my God. What's his name? Who's the guy from Shaun of the Dead? Oh my God, I'm totally
Simon
main guy in
Pegg.
Shaun of the Dead. Simon Pegg. Yeah. Space is with Simon Pegg. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I think that, and that's probably speaks to it a lot. Is I think that's why traditional sitcoms were, and even just normal sitcoms now, or modern sitcoms, they're usually about either friends, like a family, or like a place of work. Like it's places that people can see and go, oh, I recognize that place. I have been in that exact situation. Especially modern sitcoms. You know, you can easily identify that thing. Like Cheers, it's in a bar, it's in a place you go, oh, I've been in a bar before, I know what that's about. You know, like it's something you can easily relate to. I think that's why they're so popular. But I think the idea of a traditional one
but the thing is, like, are they even still popular? Because like if you look at like Rolling Stone, they had their list of the top 20 shows of 2020, and only 2 sitcoms even cracked the top 10. Like back in the day, you know, it would have been totally reversed. So I mean, are they just not cool anymore, or are we just not paying attention? But because we have other shows like, you know, like Game of Thrones or Euphoria, or, you know, high-profile dramas coming out like that.
Whoa, do you guys think it has anything to do with the fact that now so many things that would be considered funny are off limits? Like the fact that you could be joking about the, like, that's why Steve Carell constantly says, I couldn't play Michael Scott now. There's just no way.
Well, I think also too, especially with everything that's gone on in the past year, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine has been put in a tricky situation of like, is it even worth their time to continue making a show that like makes light of police?
So I think that might be why, not that sitcoms don't have a place, because maybe if they had a place where we could kind of look at things, at least I felt like in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, a lot of those sitcoms, when they kind of got their footing and they gained that popularity, they weren't afraid to tackle the more sensitive topics. Fresh Prince was a good example. Family Matters was a good example. They had a great episode about police and the racism enacted,
and racial profiling. I think it was, right?
Especially since the father of that show was a police officer. They dealt with that really well. I think that sitcoms could have a place, but it's so hard.
What show?
Family Matters.
Family Matters.
It's really, really old. You know, Steve Urkel, the kid with the him. I think that could be why sitcoms don't really crack the top whatever list they are now.
I mean, I will say that like I would like to take a look at like overall ratings and viewership of these shows versus like Rolling Stone's ranking. Like, I mean, I don't know where they're getting their numbers from, because that could be like a subjective list of like, this is this writer or like The Office's top 20 shows.
Sure.
I think objectively though, I think ratings are down in television. So I think this might just be like a television thing in general. You know what I mean? I think sitcoms usually were things put on, like we were talking about this before, about on like basic cable television so everyone could watch them. They were things that were super accessible. Even though now a lot of people have Netflix and other streaming services, I think that a lot of these were made for probably cheaper, so they're easier to put on those kind of television channels. So then maybe, and television numbers are already down just in general because more people are just on streaming now. And we don't see a lot of traditional sitcoms on streaming.
Yeah, I think too something to like keep in mind too about where these sitcoms are rating is like these are talking about new shows that are currently running in 2020.
Yeah,
and not a lot of shows ran through 2020, and B, we've been talking about how sitcoms are the comfort food of television, and streaming services have made us have given us the ability to have all of these old sitcoms available to us. And so I think that if people are watching sitcoms as comfort television, they're going to be going to the older things that they already have, that they know and they love, and they're just going to keep watching that over and over versus taking a risk and like taking that gamble of like watching something new.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So actually, Fresh Prince actually had a reunion show on HBO Max. Did anyone see it?
No, they did.
Oh, it's already out? Oh, I thought
it was in the works.
No, yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure it's out. I think so.
I seen the reunion for Parks and Rec, and that was pretty interesting. It was cute.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was cute.
Well, they're also doing a reunion show for Friends. Slated to for next November, I think it is. But it's kind of interesting because Phillip already hit the nail on the head. Do you think those reunion shows would breathe new life into those old sitcoms, or even like new ones coming out? Because people see these things and be like, hey, people still want these things. Or
I think that they're gonna get money out of these things, but I don't see them as breathing new life into these sitcoms. I think recapturing the magic or the flow of what those shows were, like those shows existed in a time, and I don't think that rebooting that is gonna work as well as they hope it will.
But also, I agree. As far as streaming services go, Schitt's Creek got really popular. They won a shit ton of Emmys, and that was a recent show that did really well. And I've had quite a few friends. I haven't seen it myself, but I know quite a few people who like the show and have told me to watch it. I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, my family loves that show. Yeah. My mom, my dad, my sister. It's like they're always watching it.
Same. Really? But that's not a traditional sitcom, right?
Yeah,
that's like more like modernized sitcom.
It's more modern.
I think my sister's already watched it twice.
Yeah, so I mean,
I've heard really good things about it.
I've tried watching it, but I couldn't really get into it.
Give it however many seasons, like we say about The Office.
Seasons.
Would you guys consider a show like Trailer Park Boys a sitcom?
Yeah. Dude, everything is a sitcom really at this point.
You know what's funny? I find it's really funny that show was really ahead of its time when it came out, because it was doing that like docu-style format even before the UK Office.
Oh.
Really? Is that old?
Dang.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Holy shit.
It's been around forever.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
So if ever you were wondering about groundbreaking TV, real groundbreaking
Trailer
TV.
Park Boys.
Yeah.
Trailer Park Boys.
That doesn't surprise me.
Or like
I think that if traditional sitcoms, sorry for cutting you off, Leatrice, but if traditional sitcoms want to survive, I think because most sitcoms when they survive, and especially traditional ones, it's like they are like a sign of the times, right? Like they do something that people of that time era can relate to, and that's why people go back to them, right? Because they go, oh, that reminds me of my childhood. That's why you watch Friends. Maybe not because like the situation's funny anymore, because it reminds you of that time period. So I feel like if they want to do it correctly, they're gonna have to make traditional sitcoms make sense for the times. Like maybe make it about a specific type of topic or place that is very modern. Because I don't know if they're doing that. Like I think the closest one is maybe like The Neighborhood, because I think I haven't really seen it, but I think it has a lot to do with like race relations, a little bit about like living in a certain area, and I think that can kind of be the sign of places they want to go. But if they keep making like sitcoms about something that people can't grasp onto or relate to, I don't think it's going to work. You kind of have to make it something where the generation can latch onto, because usually the people.
And I think that's
go ahead.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why I don't personally have like a whole lot of hope for like the reboots of like when I see Friends is coming back. You know, I'm not even I didn't like Friends before. I'm not excited for Friends coming out now. And I know that it's going to get a lot of views, but I don't know that it's going to see the critical success that the original show
Definitely won't.
Because
I don't think that was its
Yeah.
No way.
purpose, really. I think that its purpose
Yeah.
was just to give the fans of the show something they all had been asking for, but probably won't like when they've been given it. And I think
Right.
the evolution of the sitcom has started veering towards like dramedies. I can think of like Fleabag that I've seen recently. Like that show is fucking hilarious, but it's like I think the topics it deals with, or the subject of our main character's distress or flaws, is really dark actually. And I think that's
Yeah.
where maybe sitcoms have kind of shifted, like what Alex said, if they're trying to reflect the sensibilities of whatever current generation is doing all the viewing, then maybe that's what this current generation is looking for. Not something that just really sugarcoats everything and makes you think that, oh, it's okay just to laugh about this situation every
Right.
episode after every episode.
Well, a show that makes me think of actually is Pen 15.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you guys have watched this show.
I haven't seen all of it.
But
Yeah.
that's a fantastic show.
So Pen 15 is one of the two shows that cracked the top 10 for Rolling
Yeah, I
Stone.
saw that it made the list,
Yeah.
and I'm really not at all surprised that it's up there because it's a really fun show. And I think one of the reasons why it's garnered so much popularity is because it's specifically targeted at like our age demographic of people who grew up in like the 90s and like the early 2000s, and it really captures in a really bizarre way captures what it was like to be in middle school, you know, and there's something that's so relatable to us, but then it also uses its you know, position as a means to create, like you're saying, dramedy situations where it doesn't sugarcoat everything, where it's like some things are funny and like life's funny, but also like they're going through real emotional traumas of growing up,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
I remember Phoebe Waller-Bridge doing a bunch of interviews for Fleabag because a lot of people thought the show was groundbreaking and hilarious and really great. And they often asked her, like, what was it that you did? And she's like, I think that when you can get your audience to laugh, that's when you've got them. And that's when you have to punch them in the gut. And then like she constantly lives by this thought as she's writing this series. Like, it's so important to make people laugh, to disarm them, because that's when you can really get real with them. And without, when you want something to hurt or to really land, then it will, versus maybe the traditional sitcom of Friends or Fresh Prince or Family Matters, that 70s show too. It probably took several seasons to develop these characters before something kind of tragic happened and then you felt for them. Like in The Office too.
Yeah.
That happened with
Yeah.
Pam, that happened with Michael, with Dwight. It took so long before you really took the characters seriously when something bad happened. And it felt like it was more real. And it's probably because now the comedies are written almost like as dramedies. They're just kind of a little bit more succinct, and they have a different format for how they want to make people laugh, but also at the same time just like slap you across the face with pain or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of sorry, do you want to go ahead?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. I think a lot of traditional sitcoms, the episodes that I feel like a lot of people recall or try to come back to are those really dramatic episodes. Like I feel like even Fresh Prince, the one that people reference a lot, is like the one time
dad?
where like Will,
Dad,
the
yeah.
dad
Yes.
episode is like the one that everyone recalls. And so I think that kind of like what you're saying, I think this idea of, even though they're comedies and even though we're supposed to laugh at them, really it's like we're growing with them, and like those laughs eventually kind of lead to a place where we really genuinely care about these people, and then we kind of we grow with them. So yeah, I think that I think the idea is that we do end up liking that drama more. Like I think we want that drama, but we also like the laugh. So I think the idea of dramedy being kind of where we're starting to fall into is very accurate.
Because drama's taxing if it's all you're seeing sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think that I think that the dramedies are actually kind of uniquely positioned right in the middle between the two to be the most effective at conveying emotion to us, because I think of shows like Game of Thrones or like other shows that are like really dramatic, and they can have dramatic moments that like hit you, but I don't think that they end up hitting you as hard as a dramedy can. Because
the Red
like you're
Wedding
saying
hit
that
me
like
hard.
you
But yeah.
Sure.
I had that spoiled before I even started the
Okay,
show,
sorry.
so it didn't hit
Anyways,
me hard
continue.
at all. But no, I think that like even if they do hit hard in drama, it's so diluted at that point because so much of the show is already dramatic. But in like a dramedy situation, like they have this position of like they get you light on your feet and like they let you in and like close and you're like, oh, this is really fun, and then right at the moment like and that stays with you because it's that contrast. It's the contrast between the highs and the lows versus if everything's funny all the time, you're not going to remember all the jokes, but if everything's dramatic all the time, you're not going to remember those dramatic moments either.
I agree.
Yeah. Like even speaking on Game of Thrones, like that's why they have Tyrion, right? It's like so many people fucking love Tyrion, and the reason why is he's hilarious, like everything he's saying is he's just like constant one-liners of like things that are like super quotable and really funny.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the opposite of the comedy in some way.
It's being able to identify.
And I think that a show like Game of Thrones a show like Game of Thrones needs that character to create just that air of contrast.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like contrast is really the spice of life in a lot of ways. Like we need it when we shoot video. Like you're always thinking about your contrast ratios of like how dark are your darks and how light are your lights, and how just a little bit of contrast can really bring out all the depths and
right. Like that's why people have what's your work-life balance kind of thing. It's important to have that kind of distinction, but also being able, I think one of the beauties of shows who are always high drama, to have a character like Tyrion, you kind of identify. You're like, that's the shit I would want to say to fucking what was that kid's name? Joffrey. Like
Joffrey.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Like that's the kind I want to be able to slap that kid
That little
square
shit
across
got what
the
he deserved.
yeah. It's important to have those characters that remind you like, oh yeah, we're gonna laugh with him at these people. And comedies now or dramedies now are I think characters who are able to laugh at themselves and put themselves in what feel like very vulnerable positions, so we identify with them. We feel that there's something about what they're going through that we must have felt, or we for some reason can actually be more empathetic towards their suffering because they made us laugh. There's something special about someone who can make you laugh, right? So when someone can make you laugh or a character can make you laugh, you almost kind of want to protect that, or you feel more protective of that person or that show or something like that.
I think too, like dramatic sitcoms that are coming out are very reflective of the time that we're living in the same way that older sitcoms that are very much like sugar-coated and like everything's perfect are very reflective of the time. I remember listening to this talk about how Hollywood blockbusters shifted after 2001, after 9/11, because the 90s was this like period of Hollywood blockbusters of like bombastic effects and like your Spider-Mans and like all these crazy movies that were coming out, like the Tomb Raider movie came out in the 90s, and it's this like weird experimentation of CG and crazy things happening. And then 9/11 happened, and the action blockbusters that we were getting after that were like Hurt Locker and like the Bourne trilogy of like very much like grounded and
but also kind of they were rooted in things that kind of cloaked a specific region of the world in this. They wanted a villain,
right?
And then so I mean, this is stepping away from it, but I remember that time. It was like a shift. It was like the 90s was this golden era where we were actually in some sort of economic boom. We were very wealthy as a country, and we didn't really have much to worry about, and wealth usually coincides with this kind of these blinders to the suffering of the world. So when something like that happened, I remember there was a specific episode in Friends where they made a joke about someone going on a plane and making a joke about that plane going down. They took that episode out, or they changed it completely because like there's something we can no longer do with comedy. And probably since then, or since that started being more and more part of our daily lives, like these tragedies, issues that we have to actually discuss, that's when the dramedy started coming, because like, wow, we're choosing not to talk about so many things in this world, and we have to.
Yeah, and I think that the dramedies that we're seeing today are reflective of the fact that we're starting to live in an age where more of these things are being talked about. More of these things are like, no, we're not going to hide these away. We're going to talk about things like mental health and racism and, you know, like poverty and the income gap. Like there's so many discussions that we're finally having of problems that have been prevalent for so long, but we wanted to pretend like they didn't exist. And those older sitcoms kind of reflect that, where these dramedy ones aren't, they're willing to acknowledge that these exist in the same way that our society is starting to acknowledge those things as well.
I'm wondering, like, where, if you broke down America, where these traditional sitcoms and the current ones that are out, like, where are they really most popular? Like, does it have to do with a specific region? Yeah, demographic, a region. Because, like, I'm genuinely curious, like, who watches these things? Because someone is watching them. You know what I mean? But is it, I don't know, is it the South? Is it the East Coast? Is it the West Coast? Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't think it's a geographical demographic. I think it's an age demographic.
Gotcha.
Like, I think CBS, which does really well in network ratings every year, like, they kill it almost every year. But the age demographic that watches CBS is, I think, like 50 and older.
Well, that's just, it's just television, right? Like in general, all television's ratings are going down in general.
Yeah, but I mean, like CBS, like their biggest, I think, contributions were NCIS, and I think Big Bang Theory was on CBS, right? And you know, it killed TV for the longest time. So I don't think it's a physical geography that would explain those numbers. I think it's just an age thing.
Yeah, but I'm still genuinely curious. I feel like I want to look that up at some point.
I was just going to say that I think that if it's come down to age, I think the younger generation are looking for more content that kind of challenges their what has been always revered as funny, which was the traditional sitcom. And I like what Phillip was saying, they aren't afraid to talk about these things. That's why I May Destroy You, I still consider that a comedy, but it's very much a drama as well. And I think it's because of the way she talks about assault, and then she personalizes it. She makes it very much about how it affects her on a day-to-day. It's not high drama. It's not about her living in her trauma. I think that there's so much comedy and like love and friendship embedded with it. That's what made the show feel so groundbreaking to me. And that's what I think new shows that want to use comedy will do. Maybe they're not sitcoms, maybe they will be dramedies. And I think it's because a lot of new generation want to be able to talk about it in a world where we're so constantly connected through social media. There has to be some sort of format where they can view themselves in a less TikTok type way, where it can be a little bit more real and a little bit more drawn out and digested in a longer format.
Yeah, I just think that, I mean, something I was thinking about actually about this episode is even the way that like working at our new job, doing advertising and stuff, like there's this thing that they always like to say is like making ads that are authentic and that you're trying to sell something, like you're selling this realness to someone. Like the ads that do the best are usually the ones that like apparently like people can relate to. And I think that's something that you can relate even to just sitcoms and comedy, is like, especially in this generation, is that people really don't like fakeness. Like even going back to your TikTok thing, Moses, about like this idea of you scrolling through and finding the most authentic thing that makes you laugh. And or even why someone like Bernie Sanders is so relatable to people like us is because he's very real and he's just willing to be like,
I'm just gonna wear my same
happening.
jacket that I wear all the time that keeps me warm.
Exactly. It's this idea of authenticity, and I think that sitcoms are, in at least traditional sitcoms, are not authentic, except for maybe somewhat of the situation.
Or it takes many seasons to build a character into someone you feel like is authentic now.
Yeah, and are people willing to wait that long? And I think that not really anymore. Like I think people want that realness, that kind of authenticity, And if they're not given that, I think that's why these traditional sitcoms are failing so hard, or at least not so hard, but they are failing with a newer generation, is because they want that.
They're not providing that instant satisfaction that the newer viewers are craving.
Not necessarily instant satisfaction, but more so authenticity. Like, I just think
Like
that if the satisfaction,
right? Identification is a big thing with a lot of the new generation too. If you're seeing so many people online all the time, who can you identify with, and that's the person you're just going to naturally gravitate towards. This is the person I can identify with, so I'm going to keep going that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, well, that was a lot. When we started talking about this, the question was, are traditional sitcoms and untraditional sitcoms either extinct, or are they thriving under, a blind eye? But I think the answer is that it's just evolved and everything's kind of mixed together. So they're not really extinct, and they are really kind of thriving, but they're not thriving in the way we're used to seeing. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right.
I mean, I think in a lot of ways, like, it's starting to feel like the age of the genre is over. Like, it's starting to come to an end where, like, so many things are amalgamations of other genres. You like comedies and dramas, and like sci-fi and horror, and like drama, and Marvel action movies. Like, everything is slowly being mixed into these pots of entertainment.
So then let's end this topic with one last question. Is TGIF ever going to come back?
No.
Do you mean thank God it's Friday?
Do you not know what TGIF is?
Is that the restaurant you're talking about?
Endless
jalapeno poppers?
What?
No, you guys don't know what TGIF is?
Endless appetizers?
What?
Oh man, okay.
I think the answer is no. TGIF is never going to
TGIF has never arrived for some of us.
Yeah. Was this a certain time of, like, was this a thing where, like, all the sitcoms were on at a certain time?
Yeah, so back in the day, like, ABC was like the king of sitcoms, and every Friday they had their top sitcoms, and like they killed it in TV ratings. I think it was like Family Matters and like Full House and like Step by Step, and it was just like 2 hours of like sitcoms, but they were like the best at the time, and so they arranged them all to show on Friday nights as a thing called TGIF. Obviously, thank God it's Friday. So, it was a thing where people would get together, or the families would get together and watch these shows, and it was TGIF. It was kind of a joke question, but do you think it ever happen again?
Yeah.
Just know, when I run for senator, I will bring back TGIF. Everyone will have appetizers. Everyone will get jalapeno poppers.
You have my vote. Well, on that note, let's end this episode. Thanks everyone for listening. Of course, follow us on the Instagram, catch us on the Discord, like, follow, subscribe, listen to all the previous episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, all major platforms. If you think about it, we're probably on it. We're even on YouTube, so if you don't want to listen on the audio stuff, you can see our audio waveforms on YouTube. We're there too. If you have topics you want us to talk about, or even shout outs for our new weekly segment, slide into our DMs. Let us know. As always, thank you for listening. This has been One for Safety. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
So today being January 20th, Alex, Ice Cube, you mentioned it earlier. Today was a good day. You Googled it. What day was Ice Cube talking about?
I did Google it. Originally, I thought it was January 28th, but I was wrong. After a Google search, I found out that January 20th, 1992 was a good day. And today we are recording this on January 20th, 2021.
It's also,
today was a good day.
Today is a good day. Oh man, I think I'm peaking. I'm saying that.
Today was a good day.
It was. Ice Cube was right.